What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade basketball analysis coming to y'all with a quick video. Today we're gonna talk about Daryl Morey getting right back into the office like we all thought that he would. He said he wanted to take a year off. He said he wanted to take times off. But when you're one of the best at your job, you have a lot of opportunity. And Elton Brand to me took a lot of gambles. He took a lot of risks and he really wanted to win the title in Philly. I was a little surprised that he was, give that ability to make those acquisitions away. But when you have a guy like Daryl Morey that has proven season after season he's willing to do the same thing, which is make moves that can help you get to where you need to be. Even though he never won the title in Houston, he still showed fearlessness and the ability to communicate and get trades done that sometimes and most of the time the Rockets was better off than the acquisitions that they got. So I like this for the Sixers. I was just surprised that Elton Brand will step down from this position, even though he still will be in the organization. He won't be making the operation moves, which is a little surprising to me because trading for Jimmy Butler, trading for Tobias Harris, that's a Daryl Morey thing. Get the best talent, get the stars, and figure everything else out. That's the same approach that Elton Brand had, and that's what he did. Even with the Al Horford thing, even with the Josh Richardson thing, he just tried to put the best talent that he could on a roster and live with the results. And you can say that's bad, you can say it's amazing, you can say it's terrible, but you really don't know. You can always have a great team on paper, you can always have a great team in your head, but you still have to go out there and see how it plays. Injuries plays a part. Teams get better. Trades get made before the deadline, and next thing you know, you might not have done enough. And that's what we've seen from the Sixers time and time again. And we also seen for the Rockets, getting the ability to get James Harden and get Dwight Howard and get Chris Paul and get Russell Westbrook. Those are hard and difficult trades to do when you're doing them within the same 5 to 7 years and you're getting an all-star player every 2 to 3 years. And a lot of people call Daryl Morey crazy for that, but a lot of people respected that. Not being complacent, not being comfortable, and always having that championship in the back of your head is what you need to do if you want to win one. And I feel like both of those guys can work together. Both of those guys have the same mentality. And even though I don't think Daryl Morey was a necessity for a team like Philly, at least you get a guy that's willing to listen, and he has shown that he'll do his best for Harden. He'll do what the organization wants, but he will also save them money if they need to. He will take the gambles and the risks, but not only that, he can get them stars. And this is a team that, which Daryl Morey has shown, they can swap stars for stars. And Daryl Morey did that in Houston, getting Chris Paul and getting Russell Westbrook and trading them to get each other. That's what they may need to do because we've seen Joel Embiid. We done seen Ben Simmons continually not work each and every year. They get better, they look better, and then they changing the roster drastically, changing this, changing that. And these two guys as a duo haven't been able to get it done. This duo hasn't even made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. And when they was good, people looked at the East as a weak team. And now they're one of the better teams in the East, but they're not one of the favorites just because Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons, especially these last couple years, has had health problems. Ben Simmons had a significant injury. Joel Embiid is always in and out, and they haven't been able to play well together even when they're on the court. They're a 50-win team, but it's not about making the playoffs. It's about winning the title. That's the whole point of the process. That's the whole point of Elton Brand coming in, is to get this duo over the hump. And if they can't get over the hump, you have to move one of them and possibly get somebody else to replace them or that fit better with the one you trade. And Daryl Morey has been able to do that. Now, you can say he traded for Russell Westbrook and that was a flop. He did that more for Harden for the organization. The manager felt this is one of the worst contracts. That's how he felt about Chris Paul. James Harden and Chris Paul was beefing. And on top of that, Russell Westbrook is a brother to James Harden. That's why he made that trade. Was it a smart trade? No. But when you see all the circumstances, that was the move to make. The biggest problem with that move was they gave up too many assets to downgrade for a guy that didn't fit as well as Chris Paul did with James Harden. And he will always be known for that move because it put the Harden Rockets in a hole right now that they potentially have to dig out. Even though he probably didn't want to make the move, that was a move that everybody in the organization, including Harden, wanted to make, and they have to pay for that. And he had to do what it took to get Russell and keep Harden happy, even though it means tanking the rest of the, you know, franchise with it. But other than that, I ain't really got nothing negative to say about Daryl Morey because he's a go getter. The guy goes out there and get the job done. The guy knows the cap. He knows how to manipulate it. He knows how to find the diamonds in the rough. He knows how to get the role players on good contracts. He knows how to get role players to come that fits the system and fits what they're trying to do. Now, this is a team that isn't a great 3-point shooting team. It will be interesting to see what he goes and gets to fix that problem because everybody looks at Philly as a team that's good. They look good, but they need shooting. Daryl Morey is a master amassing teams that shoot threes. And that's going to be interesting to see. Do we want to keep Ben Simmons, who doesn't want to shoot threes, doesn't even try to shoot threes? And what is he going to do with Joel Embiid that shoot threes, but is not nowhere near as good as you want him to be shooting them? And that's going to be a thing that they're going to try to fix quickly, I believe, is getting spacing and shooting on this team. And Daryl Morey has an eye for that, and he has found guys like um, multiple guys like Robert Covington and guys like House, and a lot of those guys was on cheap contracts. A lot of those guys was on favorable contracts. You can even add PJ Tucker, who became the best 3-point shooter in the corner. He found him and really mastered that role with him in the Rockets system. And that's the type of guys that Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid needs if they're going to get over the hump, because everybody feel like once they get shooters, which we've seen them do before, even though they still got beat by the Celtics, that's what everybody feel that they need for this duo. But I think it's more than that. I think that this duo has to raise their game. They have to stay more healthier. They have to be more dominant if they want to bring a title to Philly. And that's the biggest question. Can they get to that next level? They're all stars. They're some of the best players in the world, but they're not superstars. They're not top 5 players. They're not transitional players. They're not savior type of players right now. They're in that top 10, top 15, top 20, depending on who you ask, but they're not elite just yet, especially on the offensive end. And that's going to be the biggest thing that they're going to have to figure out going forward. Is this duo worth keeping? Is this duo worth having? And can they stay healthy enough to actually win a title? That's going to be the question that's going to have to be answered if they eventually want to get over the hump or they eventually want to go in a different direction. That's something that Elton Brand and Daryl Morey is going to have to figure out. But other than that, that's all I got to say. I think he's one of the best GMs in the game. I think he understands everything that you need him to do, and he's very friendly. He knows the game. He knows how to play the game when it comes to putting teams together, and he has shown that because he was in the Western Conference and they made it to the playoffs every year, and they changed the roster every time, and they kept having success. And now they just got to find out what type of team Doc Rivers want and what do he want to do with the roster and what he needs to help him succeed in his role as a coach and get this team to a title. So we'll see. They're in the East. I think they far away from being a championship team, but I do think that they can get there, especially if they can figure out what they're going to do with the duo. And once they figure that out and once these guys show their colors, then you will see what direction you need to go in. But this is a fill out year, new GM, new coach, different personnel, probably. So we got to give it about 1 to 2 years to see if they can hit that peak. If not, expect some changes with the roster and the 2 stars, because ultimately that may be what they need to do. But you still want to try it out with Doc Rivers. And if that's the case, that's 1 year already removed. And then you'll figure everything else after the second or the third year. Check out my website, analysisplayground.com. Link in the description, comment section below. Check out my Facebook page, analysisplayground.com. Link in the description, comment section below. Like on Facebook to show support. Thanks for everybody that likes on Facebook. Also, I have over 1,000, almost 2,000 videos on my channel that comes from breakdowns of legends, players, and rookies, and even summer league breakdowns. Also cover the draft, free agency, trade deadline, top 10 list, season previews, playoff predictions, and everything. And I make a video every day. So you love basketball content with a variety of topics, this is the channel for you as I bring that to the table each and every day. I also do have merchandise on my channel where you can buy from my spread shirt. That will be in the description in the comment section below. Not only that, you can buy merchandise on my Facebook page. I have shirts and hats on there on display. You can change the color of the hat. You can change the color of the logo to the one that you want, and I can get it shipped out to you if you message me. Other than that, thanks for the love, thanks for the support, thanks for watching. Please like the video and share it. That allows more people to see it, that allows more people to reach it. And at the end of the day, if you can do that, that'd be a big help for me. Other than that, Quinn Wade, basketball analysis, I'm going, and I'll be coming to y'all another video Thursday. Enjoy the rest of y'all day. Stay blessed.